Greetings to you, lovely students. I welcome you to today's class. In today's class, I'll be taking the topic land and its uses. There are so many uses of land, and we'll be looking at some of these uses in this class. My name is Mr. Oloyede Solomon, your agricultural science teacher. Now, in the course of today's lesson, we'll be looking at the definition of lands, the various uses of lands, the factors that influence the availability of land for agriculture, and so many of them like that. So as like I rightly said, the objectives of today's lesson is to check the definition of land, use of land, and the factors that influence the use of land for agriculture. Land is man's natural endowment that includes soil and its mineral resources. Land also include air, wild animals, grasslands, forests, natural vegetation. And land also involves water. Now, the first use of land is land used for agriculture, and that is the main focus of most farmers. Now, land can be used for agricultural reasons, and that's the primary objectives of using land as a farmer. Now, the primarily land agriculture is used for providing food and also fibers for survival of man and also industry. Without agriculture, industry will almost be irrelevant. So most industries depend largely on agriculture. For instance, the chocolate industry depends on cocoa, and even the vegetable oil producing industry depends on legume seeds. Now, land used for forestry. Now, land can be used for establishment of forest reserves. Just like one of the forest reserves we have in Edo State, we have the Okomu Forest Reserve, National Park, or it's also a forest reserve, in which the forest there is mainly reserved for wildlife and also to conserve some forest trees. Now, again, the dispute over lands can be reduced when there is forest reserve. Now, the forest reserve also provides medicinal herbs, it provides ropes, provides fibers, provides dyes, which are usually used to in textile industries. Now, all these are usually gotten from the forest, and in fact some industries also depend on forest. Now, land used for wildlife. Land that is not suitable for forest establishment or for agriculture are often used for wildlife. Now, because of the extinctions of some wildlife, for instance the zebra, the giraffe, and some other notable animals, because some of them are getting extinct, the conservationist has come up with the idea of putting in of conserving a particular area of land for use in wildlife, for wildlife use. Now, this another a typical example of wildlife reserve in Nigeria is the Yankari Game Reserve. We also have the Kenji, the National Park at Niger State, and then we also have the Bogu Game Reserve in Kwara State. We have, like I said before, Yankari Game Reserves, and there are so many animals that are usually conserved in wildlife. In the wildlife, we have the baboons, we have leopards, we have lions, tigers, monkeys, and so many other animals that are at the brink of extinction. Now, the reserve is a place whereby the animal can be be given access to their food and also be given access to water. In wildlife, in forests, in wildlife reserve, the animals have access to care from the range personnel. Now, other uses of land can be used for the construction of modern cities, like you have in our school. Land can also be used in the construction of schools, in the construction of roads, in the establishment of markets. Land can also be used for the establishment of hospital, like you can see in the picture here. Land can also be used in the establishment of sports centers, for parks. Now, land can also be used for establishment of parks, establishment of hotels, and also institution, and so many of them. Land can also be used for the establishment of research institutes. In fact, the use of land to human is as important as food to man, because without land, man may not be able to do so many things. Man really depends on or has so much dependence on land. Okay, then the lands can also be used for the building of airport, for the building of seaport, for constructions, for many other establishments. Land can also be used for construction of railway lines, can also be used for mining, like you can see in the picture here, for the quarry, so many other uses of land. Then of course, land can also be used for establishment of refuse dumps. Now, factors militating against land availability for agriculture. The first one is physical factor. We have social factors, we have economic factors, and land ownership system. Within the short time, I'll be explaining these factors to you. Now, physical factors has to do with features in an area which dictate the adaptation of crops and animal to such area. Now, for instance, the nature of the land in an area in terms of topography and soil type would affect the type of crop and farm animals that are kept in that area. If a land is slopy, it will not be good for cultivation of food crops. You can only plant grasses in those environment. And if a soil is waterlogged, you can only plant rice in such a place. Now, social factors has to do with other purpose of land apart from agriculture, and this has to do with using land for building recreational centers, and also using land for building military bases and the rest. Now, economic factors has to do with establishment of facilities that helps to generate fantastic prices to people. And a typical example of this is the establishment of industries and companies. Now, land ownership system, we also have this has to do with individual ownership of lands, which usually result in fragmentation of the land and will not allow for a large scale investment. Now, most times some people will acquire a large area of farmland, a large area of land, without using it for agriculture. Some of them buy the land and keep it, and for the sake of selling it off in the nearest future. Now, such lands are usually lie fallow without usage, which has actually resulted in reduced agricultural production. I hope to see you in my next class when I'll be discussing rock and soil formation. Do have a wonderful time. Thanks for watching.